Hey guys, welcome back to Homegrown Passion. Today we're making a recipe that's close to my family's heart, Irish soda bread farls. These are a traditional version of soda bread, but instead of baking them in the oven, we fry them right on the griddle. And today I'm going to take them out to the Blackstone and cook them outside. So my dad was born in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and he was raised by his Granny Allen, and she lived in County Antrim near a town called Randallstown, and she made soda bread every single day, but she didn't have an oven, so she cooked it over the fireplace. So this is one of the simplest breads you can make, and the ingredients are very simple. You have flour, you have a little bit of sugar, baking soda, and my mom always added a little baking powder, salt. Instead of using lard, we're going to use beef tallow today, and the main ingredient is buttermilk. And it's so easy. There's no yeast, there's no rising. You just mix it, shape it, and it's ready to fry. So the first thing I'm going to do is mix all the dry ingredients together, and you start with 3 cups of flour, and I use all-purpose flour. I have 2 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon and a half of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. So you mix that all together. Everything's done by hand because they didn't have mixers. So you just mix it all together. This was always a fun part when I was a kid. And then I'm going to add the tallow because you want to mix it together with your fingers to get it all through the flour. And so you just kind of work it together. And it takes just a couple minutes because you can feel all the pieces. You don't want any big chunks in there, because you want the tallow mixed all the way through the flour. So I know when Granny Allen did this recipe, she didn't use tallow. They used lard because that's what they raised was pigs. So I have it all mixed together. Let me wipe off my hands, and then I'm going to add the buttermilk. Okay, get my hands all dried off. I'm ready to add the 2 cups of buttermilk. Now, when you're using buttermilk, make sure you buy the whole milk buttermilk. Don't use the low fat because it doesn't make the recipe very good. Just kind of pour it in, and look how nice and thick that is since it's whole milk. Then I'm going to use my spoon and mix it all up, and then we'll make it into little balls. Doesn't take too long to mix it up. Okay, it's ready to make into patties to grill on the Blackstone. So to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to get everything prepared in the kitchen here to take it out to the Blackstone to fry it. And then the first thing I want to do is put a little flour down on the platter I'm going to transport them with, because these guys are really sticky. So I got to make sure my hands are well floured. And you just grab a nice little ball of it, a little bit more flour, and you just kind of work it back and forth. These things end up looking like an English muffin. So you just kind of go back and forth, pat it down to about a 1/2 inch thick, and then it's ready to get fried. So let me get these all made up. I try to keep them uniform best I can. But if you don't have the flour in your hands, oh my gosh, this stuff is so sticky. And what's nice about Irish soda bread is that the next day, if you want to eat some, just cut them in half and stick them in the toaster and reheat them. I like them with just a little bit of butter, but I know a little jam and jelly makes them taste really good too. So let me finish getting these all made in balls, and then we'll go out to the Blackstone. Don't these look great? So let's go outside and fry them up on the griddle. I've got the Blackstone griddle preheated. I'm adding a little bit of butter for flavor, and then I'm frying the soda bread on medium heat. They only take a few minutes on each side until they're golden brown. You want a nice crisp crust with a tender, fluffy inside. So as they're cooking and they puff up, don't be tempted to push them down because that'll ruin the texture. Look how nice and brown those look. Cook a couple minutes on this side and be ready to taste test. Oops. Shut it down for a minute and then we'll be ready. Okay, so this is what they should look like. Look at nice and golden brown on both sides. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to take them off the griddle. Now let's take them into the kitchen and give them a taste test. Boy, it was really quick cooking them all on here. Usually I have to do them in a frying pan, and it takes forever to do different batches. Yum. Make sure they don't fall off. Close this down and then turn it off. Okay, let's go inside. So I have to be honest with you guys, we really don't buy a lot of bread at the grocery store because I don't like all the chemicals and the other ingredients. So I always make the soda bread, and I use it for eggs in the morning or hamburger buns or sandwiches or just as a nice little snack. So let's cut one of these guys open. Oh, look how nice and hot and steamy that is. This is when they're the best. Right off the griddle with just a tiny bit of butter on them. Really nice snack. Like I said, they work out really good as an English muffin type breakfast. You just pop them in the toaster in the morning, heat them back up, and put a little butter on them then. So rich and creamy. The buttermilk really gives it a nice texture and flavor. This is exactly how my family always made them. Simple, rustic, and so good warm with butter. Perfect for breakfast or with a bowl of stew. This is such a humble recipe, but it's full of tradition and flavor. If you'd like the full step-by-step recipe, head over to bradwoodrecipes.com, where you can print the recipe card. And if you enjoy this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss one more family recipe and farm-to-table cooking here on Homegrown Passion.